What's up guys, we would like to test more smartphones on our channel Tech Brothers, but the previous video about Poco M5 has only 400 views. We spent a lot of effort, time and money when testing the mobile devices, so I hope you will hit the like button to this video. Thank you for your support. Now I have the new Infinix Hot 20 smartphone. The price of this phone is about $200, but it has 6.6-inch Full HD Plus 120Hz display, a Dimensity 810 5G processor, 50 megapixels camera, and 5000 mAh battery. I have already been testing this smartphone for about a week, and I can tell you about the performance, cameras, battery and other stuff. By the way, you can use the timecodes in the description under the video. They are very useful if you don't have time to watch a whole video. Let's start the review with unboxing. I have already told you about some features of Infinix Hot 20, but you also need to know that the new smartphone is available in a single version with 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. It also has NFC support. Inside the box there is a smartphone, user manual, silicone protective case, power adapter, USB Type-C cable, and a SIM needle. This is a standard package for a budget smartphone. Talking about design of Infinix Hot 20, first I want to say that I have a black color version. In general, you can choose from black, blue and green colors. The dimensions of the smartphone are 166.3 by 76.5 by 8.9 mm. The weight is 208 grams. It looks like the rear panel has a line texture, but actually it is smooth. The back panel is also made of plastic. There is a dual camera and flashlight in the left top corner. We will test the camera later in this video. A fingerprint reader is located under the power button. There is also a volume rocker on the right side. A slot for dual SIM and memory card is on the left. By the way, you can use dual SIM and microSD memory card at the same time. That's very good. The smartphone has a 3.5mm audio jack, microphone, USB Type-C charging port, and speaker at the bottom. That's all about design of Infinix Hot 20. To be honest, the smartphone looks more interesting on official photos than in real life. I really thought the rear panel was made of glass, or at least that there was a texture on the back. However, the smartphone has a simple plastic glossy body. On the front panel we can see a water drop notch and a quite big chin at the bottom. The display has a diagonal of 6.6 inches, Full HD Plus resolution and 120 Hz refresh rate. In the display settings we can change wallpaper, choose a dark or a light theme, and even set a schedule. You can also choose a screen refresh rate from 60 and 120 Hz refresh. However, I think it is better to use auto-switch refresh rate, so the smartphone will automatically increase a refresh rate in games and decrease it when watching videos. Overall, the display is really good quality. It has saturated colors and high brightness. By the way, if we started watching the videos, let's check the speakers. Infinix Hot 20 has only single speaker at the bottom, but it is good. I like Infinix smartphones because of their user interface. The new smartphone runs on Android 12 operating system with XOS 10.6 user interface. There are many pre-installed apps, but unlike Xiaomi smartphones, they are very useful here. For example, there is a Power Marathon, X-Theme, X-Area, My House, Phone Master, Cleaner and others. If you don't want some apps, you can try to uninstall them. For example, you can delete these, but the apps from XOS family cannot be uninstalled, only removed. I also like a quick settings menu, because there are many useful functions, such as screenshot, dark theme, ultra power mode, eye care, theft alert and others. The settings menu looks similar to other Android devices, but I want to show you the special functions. There is a lighting multi-window, main fashion, smart panel, social turbo, game mode, etc. By the way, if you want to increase the RAM, then you need to go to the main fashion, activate this function, and then set a virtual RAM. The smartphone will be rebooted. Now we can talk about performance of the new Infinix smartphone. First, it has Dimensity 810 chipset. This is 6nm processor with 5G support. The smartphone is available in a single version with 4GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. As already said, you can increase the RAM up to 7GB. You can also increase the storage using microSD memory card. By the way, I want to check if increasing RAM really affects the benchmark results. So now I have 4GB of RAM and the smartphone scores 313,000 points in AnTuTu. When I increased the RAM to 7GB, the AnTuTu result is about 310,000 points. As you can see, the score is even lower, so I don't think the virtual RAM really improves performance. The next benchmarks I will run with a native 4GB of RAM. In a GeekBench 5, we can see 588 points in a single-core test and 1689 points in multi-core test. The overall score in 3D Mark benchmark and wild live test is 1295 points. So Dimensity 810 is a very good processor for a budget smartphone. Now we can play some games. As I said before, Infinix Hot 20 has a gaming mode. I activated it before playing games. I will also launch the games through the X-Area app. Here we can see all the games on smartphone. I have already installed PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, and Asphalt 9. In the X-Area app, we can hide notifications, incoming calls, turn on/off health mode, optimize game graphics, and some other settings. Let's start with the most demanding game, Genshin Impact. In general, it is quite comfortable to play this game on the new Infinix smartphone, but sometimes there are small glitches. You know, Infinix Hot 20 is much better at other games. I haven't noticed any problems with PUBG Mobile, Asphalt 9 and Call of Duty Mobile. By the way, I don't know the screen refresh rate now, because I have selected Auto Switch refresh rate, but the games look very smooth. This is probably 120 Hz. Now, let's talk about camera of Infinix Hot 20. The new smartphone has a dual camera on the rear panel. The main sensor has a 50 megapixels resolution and f1.6 aperture. It is good for the night photos. I didn't find any information about second sensor on the back. However, the smartphone has many shooting modes. Let's take a look at the camera app. First, you can choose a shooting mode in the camera app, such as short video, AI cam, beauty, portrait, and super night. In the AI cam mode, you can also turn on off a flashlight, HDR mode, 50 megapixels resolution, aspect ratio, and filters. There are some other useful functions in the settings, such as eye autofocus, horizontal level, AI portrait enhancer, etc. In the video mode, you can choose a video resolution from 2K, 1080p, and 720p. However, I didn't find a video stabilization in the settings. I hope the video footage will be smooth. Let's check it out. First, I took photos in AI cam mode and 50 megapixels mode. The pictures in 50 megapixels mode have 8160 by 6120 pixels. The photos in the standard photo mode have a 4064 by 3048 pixels resolution. I think 50 megapixels photos really look better. By the way, I have a cloudy weather when I test the camera, so the pictures outside don't have bright colors. However, I took some photos in a store, and you can see that the colors are very saturated. The selfie camera is also good on this smartphone. Infinix Hot 20 doesn't have a dedicated bokeh sensor, but there is a portrait mode in the camera app, and it does a good job. Talking about night photos, I am very surprised by them. It was a total darkness when I took these pictures, but it looks like it is still daylight. The images in super night mode look great. However, the videos in low-light conditions are very grainy. The daytime videos have much better quality. Infinix Hot 20 has a battery capacity of 5000 mAh and 18-watt fast charging support. As I said before, the smartphone has one of the best user interfaces that I have ever tested. There is a Power Marathon app, and you can choose the power-saving modes such as Power Boost mode, Short Video mode, and Smart Power-saving scenes. I want to check the battery life while playing videos on YouTube. I have turned off the power-saving modes and increased the brightness to the highest settings. so the video playback of Infinix Hot 20 is 10 hours and 58 minutes. That's a really good result for 5000 mAh battery. Talking about charging, it takes only 2 hours and 25 minutes to fully charge the battery. I think it is also good for a budget phone. As for connectivity of the new Infinix smartphone, I have a global version and it supports 5G networks. There's also dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, but the most important for me is NFC. You can use the smartphone for contactless payments. In the end, let's talk about pros and cons of Infinix Hot 20. Although I said that the new Infinix smartphone has a simple plastic glossy body and the black color doesn't really look like black, but it is more like gray. The smartphone has a good fingerprint reader on the side, USB Type-C charging port, 3.5mm audio jack, and even dedicated slot for dual SIM and microSD memory card. That's very good for a budget phone. One of the main features of Infinix Hot 20 is the display, because it has Full HD Plus resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. You know, many budget phones already have 90Hz refresh rate screen, but Infinix Hot 20 has 120Hz. That's really cool. It is very nice to play games on this mobile device. I also like Infinix smartphones because of their user interface. Yes, there are many pre-installed apps, but I found most of them useful. Talking about performance, Infinix Hot 20 has a Dimensity 810 processor with 5G support. The new smartphone has a very good benchmark results and a good performance in games. Don't forget that this is a budget phone and it is really good for games. The main surprise for me about Infinix Hot 20 is the night photos. The smartphone has 50 megapixels main sensor with f1.6 aperture. The second sensor on the rear panel helps to take better photos in low light conditions. The smartphone also uses AI algorithm to improve the quality of the night photos. You know, the pictures at night look like daytime. Infinix Hot 20 has a big 5000 mAh battery and the battery life is very good. And there are also different power-saving modes available, so you can even increase the battery life. Finally, the smartphone has 5G support, but for me it is more important to have NFC, because I often use a mobile device for contactless payments. Infinix Hot 20 is not perfect smartphone, so it has the flaws. Let's talk about them. The new Infinix smartphone has a glossy plastic body and it looks pretty cheap. It may look more interesting in other colors, such as blue, but in a black color, which actually looks like gray, the smartphone looks very boring. I also said that I like the user interface of Infinix Hot 20, but if you don't need the apps from XOS family, you cannot uninstall them, but only remove. You know, there are many pre-installed apps that cannot be uninstalled. Infinix Hot 20 has a very good 50 megapixels main camera, and I like the night photos, but I would also like to have ultra-wide-angle camera on this phone. Finally, the smartphone has 18-watt fast charging support, and the full battery charge takes 2 hours and 25 minutes. I think it is long enough. Overall, Infinix Hot 20 5G is really good for the price of about $175. If you have any questions about this smartphone, please write them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you soon!